This is the topic we're going to discuss. You know, I told you that so many times we're going to be discussing those topics that is making them uncomfortable. That is what we'll be discussing. It doesn't matter. They attack us, they pull us down, we come up again. We're going to discuss how northern politicians fueled Nigeria insecurity. They cover up. Time for USA to act. The United States of America. A lot has happened in the Zoological Republic. But one thing is that people have a very short memory. It happens, they talk about it, and the next minute they move on. The insecurity we are seeing in Nigeria did not start yesterday or today. And when you see them trying to change chief of army staff, change this and change that, all these are formalities. It's not going to. Instead, it will get the situation worse. It is in the same old people that they recycle over and over again. How northern politicians and elites caused the insecurity crisis, and why US must act now. My fellow Biafrans, I welcome every one of you that have been able to make it to this very morning program. Wherever you are watching us from, lovers of freedom, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Accept my greetings according to your time zone. All the lovers of truth across the world, all the lovers of justice, lovers of freedom, I welcome every one of you. Today's message is not just a discussion. It is an expose. It's an exposition that people know. You know it, I know it. But somehow, the Nigerian media play it down. Somehow, even the citizens pretend that it's not happening. But we will keep on reminding them and throw it on their face. So our today's program is not just discussion. It is an exposure. It is a call for international moral responsibility. It is a call for United States and the global community to understand what Nigeria, especially Biafrans, have endured for years. We have endured a lot for years. And that is why we can't afford to be silent. Not now, when the opportunity presents itself. We cannot afford to be silent. Never. Before insecurity become a national disaster, before bandits spread across the Northwest, before violent groups overwhelmed communities, there were choices made by those in power. Before Nigeria got to where it is today, before you began to see all these different kinds of names, different groups of bandits and terrorists that have lost count, there were choices made by those in power. There were choices that were made. Let's be clear. The crisis you are seeing today did not just emerge naturally. The terrorism you are seeing in Nigeria today, it didn't just emerge naturally. It didn't just come up. It didn't just come up. It did not just start overnight. What you are seeing in Nigeria today, the terrorism, the insecurity, it didn't just start overnight. You didn't just wake up and it just started. No. That is not true. And it was not caused by ordinary Nigerians. The insecurity I see today was not caused by ordinary Nigerians that found themselves in that contraption. They are not the cause of the insecurity I see today. The insecurity I see today grew because of certain political actors They used insecurity as a political instrument, ignored warnings, and empowered groups they never controlled. That is the genesis of everything you are seeing today. But most times you see them when they come, they shift the blame to the citizens. They shift the blame to individuals. They shift the blame to ordinary people. Sometimes they come and they blame poverty. All these are excuses and lies that does not hold water. And we are here to bust their bubble and continue to do what we have to do. The crisis you are seeing today in Nigeria, the terrorism you are seeing today in Nigeria, is called by northern politicians. It's as a result of northern politicians' decision. That is what created the terrorists you see in Nigeria today. The terrorists you see in Nigeria today were created by the northern politicians. That is why even today, they're not ready to fight it. Instead, they make bargains for them. They reach deals with them. They tell you to negotiate with them. Because it is their handmaid. Their children are involved in it. Their brothers are involved in it. Their uncles are involved in it. And they would never be ready to fight it. What you are seeing, the terrorism you are seeing today, the takeover of Nigeria today to Islamize it by force, is a political gamble that backfired. For years, powerful elite in the north believed they could use violent group to strengthen influence, intimidate opponents, and control electoral outcome. Warnings were given about the danger, they don't care. They even come out and tell you that they are foot soldiers. And that is how they see them, they are foot soldiers. These people will never stop. And this is more reason why the United States should look at disintegration as the only solution. Disintegration remains the only solution. What you are seeing today is a direct consequence of what the northern governors did. The northern leaders, they created the monster, not by mistake. They created a monster intentionally that has grown today. And when you see them cry, they don't cry. Their cry is not sincere. Today, the entire contraption is paying the price. Today, the whole country is paying the price of what a group did. You see why countries are created according to value system. The value system of people in the core north and that of the south is not the same and will never be the same. Their value system is different. Our value system in the south is different. There is nothing you can do to appease them. Nothing whatsoever. Terrorism is part of them. And most time they use religion to confuse them. And for as long we are not in line with them, we are not in their religion, there's nothing you will say that will make sense to them. Nothing you will say that will make sense to them. But today, the terrorists they created has now become the nemesis of that contraption. And for anybody to think you can stop terrorism in Nigeria, you're wasting your time. Just like I said before, the United States have done well by calling the attention of the world on Nigeria. But if you want to solve that problem, the only solution remains disintegration. To your tent, O Israel, every man go his separate ways. Create country according to value system. Only then and then you would have saved humanity. the failure of leadership in that British created entity will continue. Today, instead of confronting rising violence, many of them today choose silence. Instead of dismantling dangerous networks, some act as if the situation would never spread. They pretend. Their decision, their alliances, and their neglect open the door for insecurity to become a national catastrophe. And it's not ending anytime soon. If you think it's going to end anytime soon, you are joking. You are a joker. And it is much more disturbing because you are joking with your own life. Because they're not going to stop. Crimes are ignored. When perpetrators feel untouchable, when political actors shield their allies, insecurity grew like wildfire. That is exactly what happened in the situation of Nigeria. The people in the northern part of Nigeria feel untouchable. They are untouchable. Not just that they feel, they are untouchable. For the mere fact that you are from the northern part of Nigeria, you are untouchable in Nigeria. You can do anything and go scot-free. That is why you see them today. They openly defend the bandit. They openly tell the federal government to negotiate with the bandits, give them their rights, give them what they need. They don't hide about it. You know, initially when they pushed one person to speak about that issue, some of you thought it was just an opinion of one man. But finally today it is clear that that one man was a voice speaking for the entire North. That one man is a voice speaking for the entire Northern Nigeria. And today, the whole North are either negotiating, paying ransom, recruiting, and re-imputing people into the military. I bumped into a video where they were having their summit recently, and they want to contribute 1 billion for security in the North. All the core northern states, they are still busy equipping their people. But what do you have in the southeast, in the south? What do you have there? What do you have there? What you see in those areas is the government of the day fighting against those that want to protect their people. They try as much as they can to weaken the people, the citizens of the land, and so that the terrorists will come in and take them at will. It is a sad situation, but we are not going to give up. We will continue to fight this battle no matter how long it takes, no matter how difficult it is. There is no going back. Everything you see today that is happening in that zoo is created by the northern elites, intentionally, not by mistake. For their own selfish interest. That is why they created so much insecurity and continue to create. And when you hear about Islamization of Nigeria, it is not a joke, it is a reality. Because some people felt they're going to use religion to manipulate others to control the resources. They have done it on several occasions and they work for them, and they are going on with that project, using religion to manipulate people to take over the resources. But as Chukwu Okabema lives, no inch of Biafra land will be ceded out to any idiot. They will not succeed. Everything you see today was created by the politicians. Banditry didn't simply appear. And these people they call bandits, we know they are terrorists. I don't know what kind of bandit will shoot down an aircraft. What kind of bandit will have an anti-aircraft missile? What kind of bandit will take over an entire village? You know that these are terrorists. But the same people that put them in place decide to give them a soft name, a soft landing name, so that it can be acceptable to you. And so many of you accept them. You call them bandit. The political leaders created these terrorist groups for their own selfish interests. They supply them with the weapons they are using. And when we say this thing, it is not just that we're saying, there are evidence of it on the video. On their national TV, there's still evidence. We have seen members of some lawmakers indicted in having meeting with the terrorists, helping them to keep their ammunition, even buying trucks and guns for them. They intentionally allow ungoverned area, and they allow the bandits to take over, and bandits to be collecting tax. The terrorists will be collecting tax from farmers, and they will carry it in their news, and they will do nothing. Intelligent warnings are ignored at all times. When you report a violent group, they will treat them as useful tools. That is why a northern politician will come and tell you that the bandits are their foot soldiers. The Boko Haram are their foot soldiers. And that is the way they treat. That is why you can never see them talking about going after them. What you see is negotiate. The governors, all the governors in the corner are already negotiating. Every one of them is already on the path of the negotiation. It is sad, but that is the situation. That is very unbearable, and there's nothing you can do. The only thing we can do is to get out of Nigeria before it is too late. Because the ship is about to capsize. Get out for as quick as you can. In all these atrocities the politicians commit in northern part of Nigeria and all these things they put in place, the result is a crisis that has consumed communities, displaced families, and destabilized the entire nation called Nigeria. I use nation because, for formality's sake, we know that Biafra, Nigeria is not a nation. It's not, and will never be. The world has to pay attention, because what is happening in Nigeria matters to the world. It matters to the world. They must pay attention. If these terrorists succeed in taking over the economy of Nigeria, they can do anything. They can go to anywhere. They can take on any country. They must wake up and do something. And one of the quickest and the easiest thing to do is to recognize Biafra. Recognize Biafra and any other group that emerges. They can defend themselves. You don't need to risk your soldiers. They will defend themselves. Insecurity in Nigeria is not a local crisis anymore. Everyone that is watching this program, whether you are a Nigerian or non-Nigerian, know that insecurity in Nigeria is not a local crisis anymore. It is not. It is an international crisis. It affects regional stability in West Africa. It impacts global security framework. It threatens international economic interests. So, insecurity in Nigeria is not a local crisis anymore. The United States cannot claim to defend democracy, human rights, and global peace while ignoring largest security collapse in Africa. The largest security collapse in Africa most populated nation of Africa. So what we are seeing is a global crisis. It is not just a local crisis, as some of you might see it. It is a global crisis, and attention needs to be paid. The world needs to pay attention. The US need to pay attention and do something now. It is not just about military involvement. It's a call for moral and diplomatic accountability. We have provided the level ground, the level ground for real and genuine security. Biafra. We will say it over and over and over and again until you hear Biafra. While we are waiting for it and going, US must pay attention, demand transparency on how insecurity escalated. And you will find out that the reason this insecurity escalated is because of value system. Those in the north feel it is normal. Interview them, they'll tell that what they're doing is normal. Some of them will go to the extent of quoting Quran for you. The world must pay attention. Support international investigation into political enabling of violent groups. We must begin to investigate these politicians, siphoning money and taking abroad and then sponsoring terrorists. Nigeria must be pressed to protect human rights, to protect human rights defenders, and peaceful voices calling for reform. They must be protected. Nnamdi Kanu must be protected. Simon Ekpa must be protected. The world must pay attention. Support regional security reform to prevent violent network from expanding. We must stand with communities affected by the crisis, not with the political actors who created it. The people are crying out, and the people are seeking for help. The world must pay attention and help now. The world must help. They can continue to deny for all I care. They can continue to pretend they are not seeing what is happening. But I bet you, no matter how they pretend, that will not stop us from speaking up and exposing the truth. The North is completely responsible for the terrorism we are seeing today. The northern part of Nigeria, their elites, the politicians, they have a big role to play in what happened. They did it, they planned it, and they executed it. Later on, they come back and they blame you, they blame me. For years, people shouting for reform we are mocked. People demanding justice, we are labeled enemies. People pointing to the political roots of insecurity, we are silenced. When you tell them where the problem lies and where it started, they get uncomfortable. They will silence you. Just like Nnamdi. The only reason they silenced Nnamdi and Samuel was because of the revelations they were making. They were making a lot of revelations, telling us the source of the problem and how it can be solved. They don't want to hear the truth. Once they hear you speaking the truth, they go after you. Just like you see many people that they are able to eliminate. But will that make us to stop or run away? No. The insecurity crisis you see in Nigeria today was manufactured by political decision. And the consequence has reached every corner of the country. Every corner of the country is now feeling the consequence of that evil. And if you think it's going to stop, it is not stopping today. We have to take action. Every one of us has to take action. My people, this is the time to speak. This is the time to raise awareness anywhere you find yourself. This is time to demand international attention. Share the live stream. Do your own part and let Chukwu do his. The global institutions, human rights organizations, U.S. influence, and policy advocates. These are very important. People have to pay attention and look towards it. Don't get distracted. Insecurity does not destroy a nation overnight. Insecurity does not destroy a nation overnight. It destroys it slowly through years of political irresponsibility. That's what we see in Nigeria. But truth rebuilds accountability, rebuild. Voices like yours, rebuild. Chukwu will never be silent. Let the world hear what Nigeria refuses to admit publicly. We will continue to say, we will continue to speak about it. That thing they refuse to accept or admit, we will continue to talk about it. The crisis you see in Nigeria today is preventable, and those who caused it must not be shielded. We stand on the truth, and we stand for justice. The only painful thing is that when you come to the southeast, it's a different ball game. While the north is busy protecting their terrorists, in the southeast, the innocents are being persecuted. The innocents are being attacked. They don't even want to hear anything about their own brother. That is why recently somebody made a video and was asking why they are attacking, because they were attacking the governor of Abia State. Somebody were saying, why would the governor of Abia State go and visit Nnamdi? He didn't deserve it. Why must he go? And I laughed. It is sad how everything has degenerated to this level. It is sad how everything has somersaulted to this level. But no matter what happens, I urge you, my fellow Biafrans, don't give up. Do not give up. Everything you are seeing, they are doing it so that you can give up and run away. No. Don't give up. Our future is still bright. And we can still do a lot of things. Our future is bright.
What led to it at this point? And
let's pay attention to this message and hear this discussion that are coming from VOP.
Why should we have such play out? Let us also, why you talk about that and look at the fact that according to the spokesperson of the president, that the president is not in negotiation with any bandit or terror group member, saying that even the release of the school children from KB and also the church people from Eruku has nothing to do with negotiations, citing that some persons could go in for the talk, but not the government itself. Let's get your opinion on this, please.
Look, whenever these people want to lie, at least let them lie with intelligence. Let them not lie in such a way that even kindergarten children will understand and know where they're going.
Are you saying this is a lie?
If it is not lie, then what is it? That they did not negotiate with terrorists?
Ask him.
Bayo Nonoga, who is the president's special assistant. I'm sure that man cannot make such a decision without the knowledge of the president. And he still retain his job. He cannot do that. So what are they talking about?
No, Bayo Nonoga said there was discussion. He didn't say anything about negotiation from what we heard or what we got.
There was a phone call.
There was a discussion, and the reason for the discussion was they noticed that the bandits were using the innocent school children as human shield. But we also saw that the presidency told Nigerians that it took the help of the NAF, that's the National Air Force, and also that of the military to do the bombardment. And then before nobody's happened, you have these people released and they are reunited with your family members. So, Barrister, why are we having conflicting information?
No. When NAF was bombing, he didn't bomb the captives, Abi.
Nigerians are asking for the dead bodies of the perpetrators, the terrorists, if need be. But we were told that they just told us the story, which is that the school girls have been released and they've been reunited with their family members, all thanks to the government. And no one was hurt, no one was harmed. We also saw the video where the girls were being asked by the terrorists or the bandits that kidnapped them, did we hurt you? And they were responding and all that, more like, be careful.
You just told me now that they said they bombarded the terrorists. That was why they were able to release their captive, Abi. So when they were doing the bombing, nobody died, Abi. No single person died. Fina, please, they have insulted us enough. At this point, they should start thinking what to say again.
Barrister, is it the government or people who are a bit overzealous that, because now we were getting from Daniel Bwala that the federal government will not hold talks with any terrorist group. But we learned also from Nuhu Bado that he went to Kotangora, where the St. Mary's School was situated. And after the visit, he came up to tell Nigerians that we should not fret, that the school children are well taken care of, that they are okay where they are. There's no cause for alarm. So what does this really portend? Are we seeing the government speaking from the two sides of the mouth, or the people who find themselves within the government place at this point trying to, more like have an overreach or speak more than they should for the government?
When they are telling you lies and you do not challenge or interrogate it, they will tell you more lies. But when you question it, they will now look for a way to tell another lie on top of the first one they told you. Because that's what is going on here. Bayo no longer had a TV interview, Abi, right, where he told us how he made a phone call, how he had a discussion with them, and all that. Is that not true? Has anybody disputed that? The answer is no. This other one they're telling you now about the children are okay, the school children are okay, no problem, they are taken care of. How did they come to know that? They visited them where they are, and they now see that they are okay. Or is it not that the terrorists are giving them that assurance while they are looking for money to release them? Is that not what is going on here?
Barrister, how sure are we that it is money? Because Bola went further to explain that several factors can influence such outcome, the outcome of releasing of kidnapped victims and all that. I don't know if you actually have any idea of what such actions can be and all that.
The only action is money. Fina, the only action is money. That is the only language these kidnappers understand. That's the only language they know. The only action is money. Apart from that, forget it.
Now, Barrister, there are concerns about the fact that the officials have said that they were swift and, of course, decisive in the path of getting these girls back to their parents. Should these in any way give more public assurance to the people? Plus the fact that this strikes more like they are on top of the whole situation. Should the public be very much more assured?
If you calculate the number of people they have kidnapped in the last 3 weeks, in the last 3 weeks, there are over 500. And so, where are the people? That they brought out back 38 people and this other 25 or so. Does it add up? The remaining people, Uncle, the one they kidnapped in that Niger school, the Catholic leaders there said they are over 315. So how many has come back? You can see. I'm sure whenever they want to tell this lie, they don't even remember that they have told one lie before.
All right, then.
And they said the liars should have good memory, so that they will remember all the lies they have been telling us.
Oh, well. Let's get to our virtual analyst this beautiful afternoon. Mr. Ismail Oladari, a very good afternoon to you. Let's establish communication first. Please unmute your mic so we can hear you better, because we can't hear you right now.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good afternoon to you, and thank you so very much.
Again, sorry.
Thank you so very much for being here.
Thank you.
All right, then let's have your take about the fact that the presidential spokesperson, talking about Dane Bwala, has clearly said that the country and, of course, this government is not negotiating with terrorists. Of course, therefore, there are other ways to do this conversation, and there is no negotiation in that mix. That's the reason why we see these schoolgirls returning back to their parents. What's your take about this statement, as against the fact that Bayo Onanuga, the presidential spokesperson, also had said that the presidency, the administration carefully had a conversation with these bandits, and of course, these students and these children were released. What's the position with this conflicting, I must say, kind of statement?
The government is convinced, and it is so obvious, and this is a testament to that fact. On one hand, they are saying one thing, on the second hand, they are saying another thing. And, it's also the reason why they contradict themselves. Onanuga will say one thing, another spokesperson will say another thing. And it's also a fact that, when they tell you they negotiated, or they don't want to even come out to agree that they've negotiated with these bandits, but the fact remains that they've been negotiating with them. And when you now confront them as the reason why, as the fact that when you pay ransom, you are emboldening these bandits the more, what they'll tell you is that they have hostages, they need to be very diplomatic so that the hostage won't be victim at the end. All those things to gloss over what they've been doing wrongly. But it's also a fact that there are several cases of kidnappings, terrorism across the world, and there have been hostages. And we've seen actions by serious governments where they will, take out the bandits without affecting their victims, right? So it's happening all over the world. But the reason why our own governments are unable to do this and presenting this as an excuse is the fact that, like we've been saying over and over again, they are complicit.
Should we be concerned?
Terrorism.
Should we be concerned
so they don't have
about the fact that
to actually clear out these bandits as they were?
Well, let me still stay with you, Mr. Ismail. Should we be concerned about the fact that the government is trying everything possible to returning these children and, of course, victims of these bandits back to their homes? The way and the approach they go about it, should that be a concern, or should the returning of these people safely to their families be the very, very priority that we are talking about?
The way they go about, because if you get them to their homes today, what is the probability and the possibility that they won't kidnap them again tomorrow? Right? So when you embolden these kidnappers, just because you just need to get the victims safely to their home, you get them safely to their home for them to be kidnapped again tomorrow, because you've emboldened these criminals again, you've given them more resources to kidnap tomorrow. And when they kidnap them tomorrow again, they will have more victims. So next tomorrow now, you want to save more victims.
All right, then.
To negotiate more with these bandits. So this is what we are saying. The method is as important as the victims they are getting out.
All right. Now, you said something, Mr. Ismail Oladare. You say that the government is complicit. Is it the government at this point, or are we seeing some people within the military being more like aiding these terrorists from carrying out their activity? For example, let's take a cue from what played out during the Chibok girls kidnap, and how we were told, although 82 of the girls are still in captivity, not all of them were reunited with their family members, but we have this information making waves where we're told that the then president of US sent the military into Nigeria to help, pull out to rescue the girls. But they saw that what they discussed with the military to be the only way on how to rescue the girls, which is using gas to get into the den of the Boko Haram insurgent group members and pass them out and take out the girls. The information was leaked to them even before they could carry out that operation. Is it the government at this point, or are we seeing some sympathizers of these terrorists who we know, according to the information we gather, are now within our military sabotaging the effort of the government to end the issue of insecurity?
Exactly, this is it. The reason why we say they are all complicit is the fact that when you hear that, okay, somebody in the military is doing so, or the military is compromised, you, as the GCFR, in charge of all these security apparatuses, what have you been doing about it? When news comes out that, okay, so person, so general, so person within the military, even the ranks and file are compromised, you as the president, what are you doing? The government, what are they doing about it? Or are we saying that the government now doesn't have control over the military? Right? So if they are not doing anything, they are complicit as much. Okay. Right? So the military general will come out and say, or a soldier will come out and say, we want to engage the bandits, but we got order that we should disengage, showing that one of our Oga is part of them.
In the west of Lieutenant General T.Y. Burutai retired, he said that we should cut the military some slack, that they are working with the names made available from the state governors. So if we have people who are Boko Haram members or incident members have their names on the list, then we should go back to the state governors, ask patients, why should they field in such individuals? Recall that the military does not really have, information of the people that want to join them and all that. So do you also think at this point that we should cut the military some slack and take the blame back to the state governors?
No, we blame them all because we have different intelligence, different facts and different stories to point to the fact that a lot of these military generals are complicit. Okay. So definitely will come some slack to our rank and file soldiers that are on the battlefield all the time, right? We'll definitely call them the slack. But these top generals, a lot of them are complicit, just like the government are. Because, I remember a case recently, like some weeks ago, where one of the soldiers came out to, indict one of the generals. And what happened was the fact that the soldier that actually came out to indict his Oga was actually the one that was now victimized and was disciplined. Nothing happened to the so-called general that was, indicted. And the government didn't do anything about that as well. So these are the premises where we can now lay the fact that, they are all compromised.
All right, then.
They are all complicit.
All right, then let's take this conversation back to the studio here. Barrister, interestingly, International Observer.
Yeah, welcome, my brother Christian. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, bro. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, my brother. Thank you.
Go ahead and talk to us.
Yes.
On their so-called insecurity today, which they created by themselves.
Yeah.
The insecurity the northern region created.
Yeah.
That's the main thing we talk about today.
Yeah, they are fooling themselves. They think they are fooling us, but they are just rubbishing themselves because they created it and they are the one regulating it, trying to, sort of like engineer the way it goes. So, but the good thing is that the Western world, notably the United States, they are smarter than them, so they know what is going on. They know that everything the government is doing is just shambolic. And because, you have to be if not the most, one of the most stupidest human being on earth not to know what is going on in Nigeria. It's just appalling. Everything they do is lies and lies. They are not even ashamed of it. And the people, some people, I won't say everybody, but some people know that they are lying. The government is as complicit and they are just as complicit as the terrorists. It's as simple as that. If you try to put it any other way, you are making a mockery of yourself. If you try to spin it around, you are just making yourself look stupid. Because, like I said, the government, this Tinubu Yoruba government, is as complicit in the terrorism going on as anyone else, as the terrorists themselves, as the Fulani Islamic terrorists. It's as simple as that. And what gives me joy is that the U.S. power brokers, they are aware of it. They know it. Listen to Ted Cruz. Listen to so many of them. They know this. So let Nigerians continue to, exhibit that black man's syndrome. Yeah, cowardice, coupled with stupidity and evilness of heart. Everybody is just it's just a sad scenario, to be honest with you. Because where do I start from? Now he went and brought Christopher Musa, maybe to appease or to make it look like it's not one-sided stuff, like he's a Christian, blah blah blah. But that don't mean nothing, and it's not gonna. It doesn't change anything. It's not gonna change nothing.
Nothing.
Because Shetima, a terrorist, Shetima is the vice president of Tinubu, a non-terrorist. He apportioned a duty to himself. He personally apportioned the security department to himself for the past 2 years, going to 3 years. And we've seen the security situation in the country now under Shetima. So that is like, nke a na-asị na ewelu ugodi ka ọka ife a na-agba ya key wee nye oke. Yeah, you take the key to the kitchen and handed it over to the rat. What do you expect is going to happen to the pot of soup, bro? Shetima, who is a terrorist, one of the founders, who harbors them, who financed them, who coordinates with them, and he took the position of security affairs in the country. And we see where the country is now. It's collapsed. Nigeria has collapsed, bro. When we say that, people think that, it's an overnight thing. No, it's a gradual process, but trust me, Nigeria is finished. There's something I saw this morning. I think it was this morning while I was preparing in Edo State. There's this guy. I've seen him sometime in the past. He's like championing local vigilante, stuff like that, His name is Harrison. That's the name they call him, Harrison.
Yeah, Harrison.
Oh, you had the name too, right?
Yeah, Harrison, he's very popular in social media now. The one that follows these kidnapping things and sometimes
okay, he's as popular as Very Dark Man too, whom Christopher Musa invited sometime maybe a few years ago when he was still the chief of army, whatever. So asked him to help him, He asked Very Dark Man to help him. So, but this Harrison,